mis tres opciones son estas.
Ajá.
Escúchalas,
Sí.
pero no sientas gacho.
Ajá.
Hay de tres sopas, o me matan, o me suicido, o muero aquí de viejo, pero es lo único que hay para mí, ¿va?
Ay, hijo.
Es lo que hay.
El Monstruo De Toluca, or in English, the Monster of Toluca, is a reference to Oscar Garcia Guzman, a Mexican serial killer who was active in Toluca, Mexico. He gained infamy for his chilling crimes, which came to light in late 2019. Alright, what's good, YouTube? We are back at a brand new video, doing another solo one. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I think like maybe 2 years now. But I definitely want to bring this back, a series on the channel where it's just me diving into specific topics, one-on-one type of thing, and just going in depth on them. So if you guys enjoy this content, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you guys want to see more of this. And don't worry, the podcast will be continuing as well. It's not leaving, it's going to be here too. With that being said, let's get into it. Now, Oscar Garcia Guzman was completely responsible for the murders of at least 3 young women. He would lure his victims through personal relationships or online interactions, eventually murdering them in his home. The case shocked the public when police found human remains in the house during their investigation. The details of his actions were very gruesome, with 3 victims being strangled, 2 buried in the backyard and 1 found in the bathtub. That would then lead to a manhunt and confessions of more disturbing acts. First, we're going to dive into the background of him. There's not much to him. There is a few key details here that I will be talking about that I think just make sense with this story overall. Now, the first thing is that many people claim that Oscar and his mother were both abused a lot by his father. Oscar also had revealed that he had an interest when it came to killing ever since he was a little kid. Although unlike many serial killers, he has shown a great interest and attachment to animals, never hurting them but always protecting them. That's a detail that's very different when it comes to serial killers, as we've seen many times before that. For example, we have Jeffrey Dahmer and all these other ones that they tend to start with animals when it comes to their killings and then eventually leads on to real humans. But this one was weird that for Oscar, he loved animals, even having pets himself, so it's kind of weird to see that difference right there. Now, some of the hobbies he had were Krav Maga, which is I think a form of hand-to-hand combat, which he practiced for many years, along with heavy metal and Satanism as well. He also enjoyed stories on serial killers, saying that he admired them for their intelligence. The monster's victims. The monster's first victim was his own father, whom he had murdered in 2006 at the age of 16 years old. Now, this crime was actually confessed in a phone call with his mother while in jail of 2020.
Bueno.
¿Qué
Bueno.
onda? ¿Qué onda?
¿Cómo estás, hijo?
Pues, no, yo no importo. Oye, ¿mis mascotas?
Ahí están. Ahí están, nomás que ahorita mañana voy a ir primero contigo porque creo que tienes audiencia, ¿no?
Ay, no, yo ya... Mira, mis tres opciones son estas.
Ajá.
Escúchalas,
Sí.
pero no sientas gacho.
Ajá.
Hay de tres sopas, o me matan, o me suicido, o muero aquí de viejo, pero es lo único que hay para mí, ¿va?
Ay, hijo.
Es lo que hay.
Ujú.
O sea, no, lo acepto, o sea, fue lo que le dije, fue lo que le dije al detective cuando me entregué. Le dije, mira, yo nomás quería que mis mascotas estuviesen bien. Si mis mascotas están chidas, de mí que sea lo que sea. Pero tenía la duda de que fue de, como ya no te he visto, no sé si te enseñaron la grabación y todo. O sea, todo lo que dije, pues sí es neta. O sea, no, ¿para qué te miento? O sea, ¿para qué te choreo? O sea, sí, yo maté a papá, yo maté a la hermana de tu novio, pero...
Pero no estás golpeado nada.
¿Golpeado? No. Y si me golpean, no te preocupes, no pasa nada. Si te llegan a decir que se suicidó en la celda, no pasa nada. Si te llegan a decir que lo descuartizaron, no pasa nada. Tú,
no, hijo, no me digas
sigue
eso,
con
no
tu
me
vida. Mira, es lo que puede pasar aquí. Es lo que me puede pasar aquí. Y lo acepto.
¿Estás en una celda, estás con todo o estás solo?
Ahorita por el proceso estoy solo, pero pues es tarde que temprano que me van a mandar donde están todos y ahí sí voy a saber lo que es bueno. Pero no importa, no, tú no te preocupes, tú sigue con tu vida. O sea, lo acepto, o sea, tampoco te voy a decir que me arrepiento, no. Nadie me va a quitar lo que hice ni a golpes. No quiero que venga a verme seguido, o sea, ya... Mira, me la van a dejar caer bonita. Ahorita nada más me están sentenciando por lo de Jessica, pero pues, ya me están investigando las 5 anteriores, entonces... No, ya de aquí ya no salgo, en ataúd nada más. Entonces...
Tú tranquilo, tú tranquilo.
No, yo estoy relax. Ya te dije que yo acepto lo que sea que me pase, ¿no? Entonces, te
Sabes, hijo, te
cuidas.
quiero mucho, yo también te quiero mucho, mucho.
Chale, hijo, a mí tú me haces sentir más, a todo es que me quieres,
Yo siempre te he querido, hijo, y te voy a querer siempre, y lo he dicho. A mí me importa lo que haya pasado, yo siempre te voy a querer, es mi hijo, y te voy a querer siempre, siempre. Escúchalo, siempre.
This also ties in the claims with the father being very abusive to him and his mother, and showing that he ended up acting on it. His second and third victims were a daughter and father named Tomás and Mónica. Oscar first ran into Mónica at a high school back in 2012 and was quickly obsessed with her, to the point where he began stalking her. One day he decided to go to her house and rifle through her belongings, unaware that Tomás, her father, was actually home. After being discovered shortly after, Oscar attacked Tomás, stabbing him repeatedly and finishing him off with an axe. What happened next to Mónica is very disturbing. He waited for her to return to the house. When she arrived, Oscar quickly subdued her using Krav Maga and proceeded to take her to his house. He kept her alive for 2 weeks, where he raped her and tortured her before finally beating her to death. Next, he would dismember the body, put her remains in boxes, and threw them in a ravine. Oscar's fourth victim was Adriana González Hernandez, a psychology student at the University of Toluca. She disappeared on March 24th, 2017. Now, a few days before her disappearance, she had actually presented Oscar as her boyfriend at a family gathering. Oscar later then revealed he kept Adriana alive until late February of 2018, almost an entire year of what most likely was torture and beyond more. Marta Patricia Nava Sotelo was his fifth victim, a 25-year-old criminology student who disappeared on February 9th, 2019. Now, before she disappeared, she had actually shown concern about a black truck that would follow her all around. It is claimed that Oscar was actually familiar with the family and was even his victim's mother's neighbor. She was held captive by Oscar, where he killed her later that same month. His final victim, Jessica Guadalupe Oruela, a 23-year-old psychology student studying alongside Oscar, disappeared on October 24th, 2019. Oscar had reportedly been harassing her already, months before her abduction. When she went missing, her family already had a feeling that Oscar might have had something to do with it. They would go to his house many times to speak with him. Oscar would always say that he hadn't seen her at all and to go away and stop bothering him, sometimes even threatening the family. The family had to get a court order, and it arrived on October 30th, where the police then entered the house that same day, only to find Jessica's strangled body in the bathtub. She had just been killed hours before her discovery. Now, after the killing of his last victim, Oscar had fled the scene and gone on the run. For weeks, he had been able to dodge his arrest, and during this time, he would taunt the police and the families of the victims on social media, saying things along the lines of doing it all over again, continuing the killings, and saying that he enjoyed it so much that he'll just continue with it on. Basically showing no remorse for his actions at all. Finally, after an intense manhunt on December 6th of 2019, Oscar Guzman had been caught by police. After being caught, he had confessed to the other killings that he had done before, which were the first 3 victims. Those were unknown of who might have done them, but he confessed them. The ones after those 3 were the ones that they already knew was connected to Oscar in the first place. He stated that he enjoyed doing these acts and that the only regret he had was being caught. With a total of 6 confirmed victims spanning crimes from 2006 all the way to 2019. Now, after being caught by the police, the state of Mexico had originally sentenced him to 12 years, which then led on to 17 years, 62, 91, and then after the confessions on the phone of the other killings, later then added him to over 200 years sentence in prison. And that is everything with the Monstruo of Toluca. One of the craziest cases I have personally read. And I'll definitely check up on more. As I was looking, there is definitely a few more that I want to look at. Same thing, serial killers that are in Mexico that were active pretty recently. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you guys are new. Comment down below if you guys want to see more. Maybe the next ones could be longer too. This is just something I want to test out. Coming back, haven't done one of these in a while. And as well, the podcast will be continuing too. So don't worry about that. That's still going to be going on as well. And other than that, yeah, I'm out.